Let's be honest, right from the start, whenever a story begins with the phrase "royal insiders reveal," you already know common sense has left the room, packed its bags, and booked a one-way flight. Because somehow, every single time, these so-called insiders always manage to read Harry and Meghan's minds, wallets, emotions, and breakfast routines, yet can never quite put their own names to these claims. Curious, isn't it? This time, the accusation doing the rounds is that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are experiencing what's being described as very real jealousy toward Prince William and Kate Middleton. And not just any jealousy, but jealousy triggered by money. Specifically, William's reported annual income of around $30 million. Now pause for a second. Not outrage, not confusion, not disappointment, jealousy. That word is doing a lot of heavy lifting here, because it instantly reframes a legitimate question about fairness into something petty and emotional. It's a neat little trick, and one the media has perfected whenever Harry and Meghan dare to question anything. The timing of these claims is also incredibly convenient. They arrive just as reports surface that the Archewell Foundation has made some redundancies, with whispers that costs were running high. And suddenly the narrative writes itself. Struggling finances, bruised egos, envy of the successful brother. It's lazy storytelling, but unfortunately it works because it taps into a storyline people have been trained to accept. But here's the thing the headlines don't want you to think about. Making redundancies is not scandalous. It's not shocking. It's not proof of failure. It's what organizations do when they reassess priorities, streamline operations, or adapt to new realities. Corporations do it, charities do it, even governments do it. Yet when Harry and Meghan do it, it's framed like some kind of moral collapse. And this is where the comparison with William suddenly becomes very revealing. Prince William reportedly earns around $30 million annually, largely through the Duchy of Cornwall. And let's be clear here, no one is saying William doesn't work. No one is saying he shouldn't benefit from the system he was born into. But the silence around his income is deafening when placed next to the hysteria that follows every Sussex paycheck. When Harry and Meghan sign a deal, the media screams greedy. When William receives millions, the media whispers duty. Same family, same institution, completely different rules. And that's where the so-called jealousy claim completely falls apart. Because from Harry and Meghan's point of view, and frankly from any reasonable person's point of view, it does look hypocritical. When the Sussexes earn money, it's framed as exploitation. When William earns money, it's framed as tradition. One is monetizing royalty, the other is upholding the monarchy. The difference isn't the money, it's who's allowed to earn it without being punished. The insiders themselves accidentally admit this when they say the rules are completely different depending on which side of the family you're on. That sentence alone destroys the jealousy narrative. Because jealousy implies wanting what someone else has. What Harry and Meghan are actually reacting to is unequal treatment, and those are not the same thing. Let's also remember something important. Harry and Meghan walked away from guaranteed royal income in 2020. No one forced them out with a spreadsheet and a calculator. They left knowing full well they'd have to fund their own security, their own home, their own staff, and their own projects. That decision alone tells you this was never about chasing money. And yet, the moment they earn money the normal way through work, contracts and projects, they're accused of being obsessed with it. Meanwhile, William's wealth flows automatically, inherited, protected, and rarely scrutinized. He doesn't have to pitch ideas, defend contracts, or justify his earnings. The system simply works for him. And that's not his fault, but it does expose the imbalance. This is why the claim that Harry and Meghan feel jealous is such a convenient distraction. It avoids asking the uncomfortable question, why does one brother get unquestioned financial privilege while the other gets endless criticism for financial independence? The insiders also suggest that this situation is particularly difficult for Harry and Meghan right now because cash flow is an issue. And again, listen to the framing. Financial pressure is treated like a character flaw, as if experiencing financial reality somehow invalidates their work, their values, or their sacrifices. But living within financial limits is not shameful. It's normal. It's human. It's what happens when you leave a system designed to protect you from reality. Harry and Meghan are not insulated by palaces and estates anymore. They live in the real world, one where choices have consequences and budgets matter. That doesn't make them bitter, it makes them honest. Another part of this narrative that gets mocked is the idea that Harry and Meghan believe they work just as hard, if not harder, for causes they care about. But again, where is the lie? Harry has spent years advocating for mental health, veterans, and media accountability. Meghan has championed women's empowerment, representation, and social justice, often while facing relentless public abuse. This isn't ceremonial work. This isn't ribbon-cutting. This is confronting systems, challenging narratives, and pushing conversations people would rather avoid. And yes, that kind of work often pays less than inherited land. That's not jealousy, that's reality. What truly seems to irritate critics is not that Harry and Meghan want more money, but that they want fairness, fair coverage, fair standards, fair treatment. And fairness is dangerous when your entire system depends on hierarchy. So instead of engaging with their argument, the media dismisses it emotionally. They're jealous. They're bitter. They're struggling. Because once you label someone as emotional, you don't have to take them seriously. But here's the truth. Harry and Meghan are not jealous of William's money. They're frustrated by a system that protects one brother while punishing the other. They're pointing out hypocrisy, and hypocrisy always hates being exposed. And despite all of this, despite the headlines, the anonymous sources, the financial scrutiny, Harry and Meghan are still standing, still working, still raising their children away from the chaos they escaped, still choosing peace over privilege. That's not jealousy, that's resilience. So when you hear the word jealousy being thrown around again, remember what this story is really about. It's not envy, it's not bitterness, it's not money. It's about double standards, selective outrage, and a media ecosystem that punishes independence while protecting inheritance. Harry and Meghan didn't ask for special treatment, they asked for fair treatment. And the fact that even questioning the system gets you branded jealous tells you exactly how fragile that system really is. They chose peace over privilege, accountability over silence, and reality over royal bubble wrap. And no amount of anonymous insiders or recycled narratives can change that. If you enjoyed this breakdown, and you appreciate content that actually thinks critically instead of repeating palace press lines, like the video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more unfiltered royal analysis. And if you'd like to support the channel and help keep this independent, honest commentary going, you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. Every cup helps keep the lights on and the media narratives honest. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.